Okay.
Hi, Phil. I'm Tina Catch.
Hi, Tina. How are you? Good to
Nice
see
to
you.
see you. This is Phil Grove. Phil Grove is the expert investor that we know, and I have an investor question for you.
All right, be happy to help.
If my investment buddy and I are buying homes to rehab and then resell or hold,
Right.
how do we decide which of those homes to hold and which ones to resell?
Right, great question. Thank you. When it comes to holding properties, I love holding onto properties and owning rental properties because that's how you build wealth as a real estate investor. You buy a lot of properties, and as those properties over a long period of time appreciate in value, you become wealthy. But the thing you have to look at is what the total return on that investment is. If you own a rental property, you may or may not get cash flow from the rental property. That's the difference between whatever it costs you to pay the mortgage and whatever you get in rent. But in the long term, you're also going to get appreciation. And if you take a look at the big picture, appreciation is actually much bigger than cash flow. If we're really honest about cash flow, in other words, if you factor in all of the repairs and the vacancies and expenses and property management, all the things you have to pay for, you might only make at the end of all that $100 a month on a property, and then in a year you make, I don't know, $1,000 or $1,200. In 10 years, maybe you make, $12,000. $12,000 is not worth getting out of bed, in my opinion. I'm more interested in making $100,000 per house. And if you own the right properties in the right locations, it's very easy to make $100,000 a house. You just have to hold on to that house until it's worth $100,000 more. And some houses appreciate, get to be $100,000 more valuable much faster than others. So I'm going to give you two fun tips on how you find the high appreciation properties. Okay, and most people wouldn't think about this, but the first one is Google satellite view. If you want to know if it's a good property to hold on to, a good rental property, look at it from space. So you pull it up on the map and you look down from space, and what you're looking for is you're looking for land. If there's a lot of land around your property, well, guess what? At some point, builders are going to build on all that land. So if you're buying a rental property in an area where there's going to be construction over the next several years, I guarantee that property will never be worth any more than whatever it cost to build a new house. So you're competing with construction, and that's not going to be a high appreciation situation. Yeah, construction costs do go up a little bit over time, but I really want my properties to go up a lot, not just a little. So I want to be buying properties in areas where there is no other land, where there's growing influx of people competing for a fixed number of houses, and there's no other land in this particular area to be able to build additional houses. So that handles the real estate supply and demand question. Supply, you've got fixed supply because there can't be any more construction because there is no other land. The next question you have to ask is, what about demand? And the tip I'm going to give you for finding high demand properties is uhaul.com. Now, I know that sounds kind of funny to say uhaul.com. What does that have to do with real estate? Well, U-Haul rents trucks from city A to city B. And as it turns out, if you want to rent a truck from Detroit to Austin, it's going to cost you about $1,200. If you want to rent the exact same truck from Austin, Texas back to Detroit, it's only going to cost you $500. Now, it's the same truck and it's the same distance, so why is it over twice the price? And the answer is because U-Haul will practically pay you to bring all their trucks back. In other words, let me say this all a little bit differently. There's a company that's doing daily research on determining where people are moving from and where people are moving to. And that's uhaul.com. And if you actually look at the routes, the expense of running a truck from point A to point B, you'll know where people are going and where people are coming. So I want to buy rental property where people are moving to, okay? So if you buy properties where people are moving to, and you buy the properties where they can't build any other properties, now you have a growing demand, growing number of people competing for a fixed supply of properties, and that's the secret formula for finding properties that are going to double in value in 5 years or 8 years in a relatively short amount of time, and that's where you're going to make your big money.
Oh, that is great information.
Right.
Thank you
All right.
so much
Thanks,
for taking
Gina.
the time to meet with me.
Thanks, everybody.